it has to serve the patient, but you have to be passionate about it. Right. So I brought in like some sort of weight loss service that failed miserably, and I just wasn't passionate about it, and it lasted like a month. And I see doctors do this all the time. Like they bring in services that are not passionate about. Like when we talk about functional medicine and health coaching, it's okay for you to, if you don't love that stuff, it's okay for you not to do it. You should refer out for that. You should
Mm.
tell, like, this is something that you need to seek out. Here's a pamphlet. Go talk to this person. I think that's what they should do. But you don't have to do it. If you're not passionate, you should never do something that you're not passionate about, because it will traditionally always fail.
Yeah.
Like 99% of the time it's going to fail. So when you bring a product or a service, or you hire a team member that you're not super excited about, it ultimately won't go well.
Yeah, and I think for people who maybe are a way to kind of gauge it maybe is creating resentment in your own mind. Like if you're going into work every day and you're doing this thing and you're almost like resenting that whole the idea
Mhm.
of doing that, perhaps it's like a gauge to be like, okay, maybe this is something that I care about. Because I think people have a heart, they don't have the self-awareness to even understand what they're passionate about. Like even finding that idea is really, really tough. And so I think a good barometer maybe would be resentment. Is that something that you use as a way to be like, okay, maybe this isn't something
No,
for me?
not to a certain degree. I use resentment. You can use resentment, not resentment, but like, when you're not into it.
Right. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
So there's something called the 1,000-pound door test that I came up with, and this is whenever I sold a business. Whenever This is when I knew it was time to sell any business or stop doing what I was doing. When the door to open up your practice or your business weighs 1,000 pounds and you don't want to walk in, you're just
Mm,
like, this door is heavy as hell. It is time for me personally to think and consider about exiting that business or doing something else. When
okay.
and that's like that feeling of you're not excited when you wake up in the morning. I think the greatest thing for any business owner or human being is the feeling of being excited about waking up in the morning and supercharged about what you do.
Mm,
And I feel like you are robbing yourself of what life could be if you're doing anything that you're not super passionate about. I
yeah.
understand, like, people have to sometimes chase, an income, and they have to sometimes do that. But like, I feel like God has me here for a reason, and I think He wants me to be happy about with what I'm doing in my life. And there's no better feeling than waking up and being passionate about what you do. And I have gone through periods where I've woken up in the morning and I've not been excited about what I do. And usually that's an indication that I need to think about doing something else. And
Mm,
I've given myself that freedom to either stop doing that or sell the business. And I've sold two businesses because of both of those things, where I just was like, I'm not passionate about it anymore. And I've given myself that freedom to do that. Um, I've had two great financial windfalls from both of those sales, that also has given me more freedom to make that decision. But I know my faith in the universe, or whatever you want to call it, or God. I just know that the universe has always brought me the next thing that I am passionate about.
mm.
I have like 10-year cycles on stuff. It's 8 to 10 years for me. I'll do something for 8 to 10 years, and then it's time for me to go into something else and change either professions or change what I'm doing. Because as long as I'm here, I want to be excited to be here. And when I'm no longer excited to be here, I need to get the hell out. My
Yeah,
ticket
for sure.
needs to be cashed.